Hi, Matt.
Nancy,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm just on so I can let people in while you're doing your thing.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
because I don't
that.
think there's anybody else, so I thought I should jump in here.
Yeah, I was a little worried about that, so that's good to know.
Yeah, I meant to text you yesterday to let you know. Did you get all the announcements and everything?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it was in that email you sent me, right?
I It might have come after that email, actually.
Um, let's see what I got here. Yeah, so for the announcements I had, the stuff about the registration for the August level one and level two deep dive ceremony. Uh,
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. So yeah, usually I send out the notice, with the slides and everything. And then I text Courtney a reminder to send the announcements. So she usually, and I didn't log in to check them out
Oh,
before today, and it would be too late anyway. So it looks like they got tons of rain.
oh, did they?
Yeah, Steven
Oh,
sent me a
wow.
video. Yeah, and I've been watching the weather, so I'm
Oh
I'm
man.
really curious to hear about how it
Yeah,
goes.
me too. Okay. I think I heard that there weren't very many participants for this ceremony. Is that right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard. I think Steven said seven.
Seven. Okay.
Yeah,
That's not too bad then.
no, and so he's actually dosing,
Oh, really?
or he planned on dosing because they had so many um, people to be there. They had seven participants and seven, I don't know, space holders. And so they said, hey, if anybody wants to dose, I think he might be dosing too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, Matt, I'm
Yeah.
not seeing on my end people coming in or asking to be let in. Is it just because you're right on top of it, you think?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
just clicking them as soon as they pop up. So,
Okay, good.
yep. Good morning, everyone. Our service will begin shortly. All right. Good morning. Welcome to Sanctuary Sunday service. And before we get started, I need to mention that today's service will be a little different. This weekend, Sanctuary is hosting the Foundation's Members Ceremony. So let's send them all our prayers and love as they return home and continue integrating their journeys. Since our community leaders are busy helping out with the ceremony, we won't be having a discussion after the readings. Instead, we will be watching a pre-recorded video put together by Eric. We appreciate you all joining us today and hope that you enjoy the video. So with that out of the way, welcome and thank you for joining our Sanctuary community in celebration. Our Sunday services are devoted space for authentic connection, spiritual growth, and co-created exploration. My name is Matthew, and I'll be guiding today's service. We're especially glad to have those joining us for the first time, whether you're here live with us on Zoom or joining us through our YouTube live stream. Your presence adds to the joy of this gathering. If you're watching us on YouTube, we invite you to join the conversation in the live chat and tell us where you're watching from today. For those joining us on Zoom, feel free to turn on your video if you'd like, so we can see one another as we share this time together. Sanctuary Church is a faith-based organization. Our faith in sacred mushrooms stems from both the prehistoric use by our ancestors and the personal experiences of our modern members. Sacred mushrooms are among the greatest sacraments nature offers, raising our awareness so that we may access a direct connection to the source of life. It is our belief that the consumption of sacred mushrooms is a form of communion that brings us closer to what many know as God, Source, the All, and many other names. We understand this divine source as pure consciousness, the essence that permeates all being. This pure consciousness is, we believe, the source of creation and the origin of health and well-being. Our vision and mission at Sanctuary is to live in a world with supportive and joyful communities, empowered to discover our own divinity with sacred mushrooms and with each other. We bring people together for connection to divine revelation through communion with sacred mushroom. Our mission and vision are solely supported by generosity of our members. Your donations are essential to the continuance of our community. If you value what Sanctuary brings to the world, we ask that you donate at sanctuary.org/donate today. Please take a moment now to find a comfortable space where you can settle in and be present as we begin our service. All right, before we continue with the service, we'd love to share a few of the threads that we are weaving our community closer together. The registration for our August Level 1 and Level 2 Deep Dive Ceremony in Kentucky opens next month. If you'd like to join us, please remember that eligibility requires two things. You must have completed at least our Level 1 training program and be an active Sanctuary member. If you haven't taken Level 1 yet, now is the perfect time to begin. You can enroll anytime by visiting the courses page at sanctuary.org. Level 1 is an immersive introduction to developing a spiritually grounded relationship with the mushroom, both in ceremony with others and in the comfort of your own home. The program weaves together the wisdom our founders have gained through decades of experience working with thousands of communicants, ancient spiritual teachings, modern explorations of consciousness and the quantum field, and practical tools for cultivating a safe, intentional, and meaningful practice. If you're longing for deeper connection, richer conversations, and a supportive community of fellow practitioners, Level 1 is your next step. Hundreds of members have completed the training and continue gathering to learn, grow, and explore this path together. We'd love to welcome you into that community. Let us all take a few moments to send loving intention to our sacrament and to all who cultivate or commune with these sacred mushrooms. Without these gifts of our Creator and the communion of our members, this community would not exist. Through intention and attention, we call forth the power of the mushroom and the community we have formed around it. Let us use our ever-expanding awareness to bring greater peace through connection to our world. May we radiate gratitude from our hearts to our Creator, our community, and those who nurture and grow our sacrament. In cultivating and consuming this sacrament, we become aware of the oneness of life, the knowing that we live in all things and that all things live in us. May we carry this understanding into all our relationships and allow it to guide us in our journey as members of the human family. For more than 2,500 years, the Tao Te Ching has offered guidance and insight into the paradox of existence. Because this paradox is so often encountered when communing with our sacrament, we turn to this short book as our primary sacred text. We invite all who feel called to study it further as you explore the mysteries of life. Before the universe was born, there was something in the chaos of the heavens. It stands alone and empty, solitary and unchanging. It is ever present and secure. It may be regarded as the mother of the universe. Because I do not know its name, I call it the Tao. If forced to give it a name, I would call it great. Because it is great means it is everywhere. Being everywhere means it is eternal. Being eternal means everything returns to it. Tao is great. Heaven is great. Earth is great. Humanity is great. Within the universe, these are the four great things. Humanity follows the earth follows heaven follows the Tao follows only itself. Each Sunday, we read from a different poem or passage selected by our Sunday discussion lead and posted in our Mighty Networks member community. Our rotating text today was selected by Eric, and it is Non-Duality from the Essential Kabbalah by Daniel C. Matt. The essence of divinity is found in every single thing. Nothing but it exists. Since it causes everything to be, nothing can live by anything else. It enlivens them. Its existence exists in each existent. Do not attribute duality to God. Let God be solely God. If you suppose that Ein Sof emanates until a certain point, and that from that point on is outside of it, you have dualized. Realize rather that Ein Sof exists in each existent. Do not say, this is a stone and not God. Rather, all existence is God, and the stone is a thing pervaded by divinity. Before anything emanated, there was only Ein Sof. Ein Sof was all that existed. Similarly, after it brought into being that which exists, there is nothing but it. You cannot find anything that exists apart from it. There is nothing that is not pervaded by the power of divinity. If there were, Ein Sof would be limited, subject to duality. Rather, God is everything that exists, though everything that exists is not God. It is present in everything, and everything comes into being from it. Nothing is devoid of divinity. Everything is within it. It is within everything and outside of everything. There is nothing but it. When you contemplate the Creator, realize that his encampment extends beyond, infinitely beyond, and so too in front of you and behind you, east and west, north and south, above and below, infinitely everywhere. Be aware that God fashioned everything and is within everything. There is nothing else. God is unified oneness, one without two, infinitesimal. Genuine divine existence engenders the existence of all creation. The sublime inner essences secretly constitute a chain linking everything from the highest to the lowest, extending from the upper pool to the edge of the universe. There is nothing, not even the tiniest thing, that is not fastened to the links of this chain. Everything is catenated in its mystery, caught in its oneness. God is one, God's secret is one. All the worlds below and above are all mysteriously one. Divine existence is indivisible. The entire chain is one, down to the last length. Everything is linked with everything else. So divine essence is below as well as above, in heaven and on earth. There is nothing else. As I said at the beginning of the service, we won't be doing a discussion today due to the ceremony going on this weekend. In absence of discussion, our community leaders put together this video for us all to watch. Thank you for your understanding, and I hope you all enjoy.
Well, Sanctuary family, this message couldn't come at a better time. Not for us on ceremony anyway, because we are probably not experiencing exactly what we would want. Those of you who are with us today for the first time, this is not how we normally do our Sanctuary Sunday service. Obviously, myself, Courtney, and the rest of our leadership team is away on ceremony with a group of wonderful individuals who, some of which are encountering sacred mushrooms for their very first time. So we're very excited about that. We're not so excited about the rain and mud that is probably awaiting us. I'm recording this message right before we leave, and it's timely. As I said, reading through this selection that I have for this Sunday coming here, it really reminds me how embracing what is really what this message is all about. So I chose this, well, for one, because the Tao speaks directly to this mystery of the infinite, that there is no duality in truth, that there is only the infinite, all-encompassing mystery that is sometimes called Tao, sometimes called God. There are almost infinite names for it, I do believe, and that's because it is an infinite mystery. But that doesn't mean that we can't know it, and that's what the Tao is constantly trying to remind us of, that just because we can't define it doesn't mean we can't know it. And that's also what this reading from the Essential Kabbalah touches on as well. You know, this is one of my favorite teachings because my whole life I have been taught, as most of you have as well, that God was this guy in the sky, this very finite image of something that absolutely cannot be contained, that is the ultimate mystery. And when we understand that this ultimate mystery is what lies behind all that we see, not only that, but that we are part of that mystery, well, that can change our entire worldview. It can be one of the most transformative perspectives that someone can take on. And that is what I am encouraging you, as well as myself, to try to consider as much as we can. It's challenging, no doubt. We look outside and we see things that don't line up with our vision for the world. Our life, like I'm speaking to with the ceremony, often does not go the way that we desire. Like, this is not what we planned, and yet here we are with it. And the resistance to that is where our suffering comes from. It's so much like the mushroom experience itself. Those of you who have worked with sacred mushrooms probably know, if you've had any number of experiences, that you set an intention, you wish for this beautiful, expansive experience, and you spend 6 hours suffering. Maybe it's crying, maybe it's physical misery, writhing in pain, any number of ways that it can look. And the sooner we can embrace that as good for us, as what is meant for us, and what will help us grow, then the more readily we can transform that, we can transmutate that, we can alchemize that into being truly good for us. And then, as ironic and paradoxical as it sounds, we can begin to embrace that discomfort, embrace that suffering, and find that there is really a razor's edge between pleasure and pain. And so how does this work in our daily lives? What do we use? How do we use this in our daily lives? Well, we look out there, and rather than criticize the world, rather than condemn what we don't understand or what we personally disagree with, we do our best to understand that it is of God, that whatever is happening is supposed to be happening. Now, this doesn't mean that we concede power or influence, that we just subject ourselves to externalities. This actually empowers us even more. We've studied David Hawkins' book, Power versus Force, quite a bit in this community, and this is really what he's talking about. The understanding that everything that's happening is exactly what's supposed to be happening returns our power to us, because every time we say, this is not what's supposed to happen, this is not what I want, I don't like this, well, we have given our power away to whatever else is happening out there. Now, you don't have to like it per se, but you can understand, as challenging as it might be, that whatever's happening is exactly what's supposed to be happening, and now what do I do with this? How do I work with this? How do I tap into the infinite that is within me to create the change that I want to see in this world? And that's what we are all invited to do, is to use our connection to the infinite to bring our vision to life, to use our imagination to tap into that endless reservoir of creativity that is creation, and see what we can bring into existence to make this world a better place. But it starts with the realization that this is exactly what's supposed to be happening. Now, one of the most helpful perspectives for me, or I would go beyond calling it a perspective, is an understanding. One of the most helpful understandings for me that has allowed this to take space in my daily existence is the realization, the deep awareness that we are infinite. And this doesn't mean that we are, in the ether, we are embodied, and then we're back out into the ether for infinite times. No, we actually come and go from physical existence. For some of us, this might be a stretch to consider. Most of us in the West were not brought up with this as a present reality. And yet, I recently found out that only in, I think it was the 900s, I have to go back and look this up, but it was the Second Council of Nicaea, I believe, where the teachings of reincarnation were stripped away from Christian ideology. So that means that every religious perspective has believed that we are infinite, that we come and go into this world. Now, why does that matter when we're talking about tapping into the infinite resource that is God, experiencing ourselves as a piece of that infinite beauty? Well, it matters because it means we have all the time in the world. It means that we can create infinitely. That our belief that right now is wrong, that something should change, well, it will. And we get to have influence over that. Sure, we forget. I don't remember being here 1,000 times before. But just with the knowing that that is a reality, then that allows me to take on the perspective that I, in this life, with my perspective and my actions can influence infinite time out in front of me. I believe that a large part of the reason why that perspective, that understanding was taken away from us is because it disempowers us. Once we realize that we are infinite, then we're not even afraid of death, which is currently the greatest fear for most of us. So, with this understanding, this knowing that you are an appendage of the Creator, the infinite wisdom that has brought so much beauty into existence, go look at the natural world. If you must, go look at some videos of mountain ranges and oceans and tropical jungles, or if you can, just walk out in your backyard, walk down to the park, watch birds in their nests, watch the clouds go overhead, even the rain that is pouring from the sky right now. It's miraculous, and we are of that. And being of that means that we are infinite, and that our influence, the work that we do, the visions that we desire to bring to life are not confined to this space and time alone. You are so much more powerful than you realize, and the key to bringing that power to bear is understanding, is knowing that God is expressed through us, that the infinite mystery that has created the sun, the moon, the stars, all of creation, also created you. There is a reason for that. You are here for a purpose. Maybe it's just to enjoy the ride. And the ride never ends. That's the best thing. So even when we sit and find ourselves in very challenging circumstances, we know that it will change. And the more we can relax into it, just like the mushroom experience, the quicker we'll find ourselves having fun again, bringing joy into the world, sharing love with our fellow humans, and helping make life just a little bit easier for each of us. Maybe that's what it's really all about. And so those of us who are in ceremony this weekend, the work that we're doing is work for the collective. And those of you who are out there holding space in our community, just by being members of our community, you're holding space for those of us who are doing that work in ceremony. There is only one thing, and you're it.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you today. We invite you to join us on our Mighty Networks if you'd like to continue the discussion. Otherwise, have a great week, and we hope to see you all again next Sunday.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris, it looks like you just joined us. I don't know if you can hear me right now or not, but we didn't have a normal Sunday service today. It was a little short. Several of our leaders are hosting the ceremony this weekend and weren't able to do a discussion today. So we watched a video and now we're ending the service. But if you want to participate in discussion on Mighty, hopefully some people will talk about the readings that we did today.